Oh. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, it's probably going to be another short video, and I know I haven't posted in a while, but we're going to be talking about consistency, and it's a little bit ironic because I haven't posted in a while, and I haven't been very consistent, but we're just going to be talking about consistency and discipline and how much of an impact it can actually make. So consistency as a whole is doing something that is difficult, or doing something that's easy, but doing it day in, day out, consistently, however often it needs to be done. So, say working out, being consistent with working out, you're not going to look different from one workout. You're going to look different after 100 workouts or 1,000. So it takes time, but then the results start to show. So it's just one of those things. It's a show of time, and it's a show of your mental strength that you have. Let's say with the gym, if you have good physique, it's most likely that you have been training for a few years, or maybe longer, or maybe even lucky and it's only been a few months. But it's a good show of someone's ability to stay at something and be consistent with what they want. So by being consistent with their training, they're proving to themselves and to others that they can stay at something for a long period of time without so much seeing good results in a short period of time. So it may take a long time for you to start seeing results, but it's proof that you have kept going until you have seen them. One of the hardest things that a lot of people may struggle with is, can they do something for, let's say, a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, half a year, a whole year, without seeing any results? Can you truly keep going for that long without seeing any results? So if you go to the gym, can you do all your workouts, or eat all the right things, be really disciplined on the amount you're sleeping and your training, and then day in, day out for, let's say, a month or 2 months, you're not seeing any results? You're not allowed to look at yourself in the mirror. You can't see any physical changes. Your weights haven't changed whatsoever. You're still on the same weights. No matter how hard you try, you don't see any results. And then you give up. But the thing is, you could be just that one extra session away from having this massive, massive improvement, this cascade and an avalanche of improvement, of progress just coming at you all at once. See, nothing, there's a saying, and it's nothing happens at all, and then it all happens at once. And this is quite interesting because you could be going for so long at something, putting all your effort into it, being really disciplined, and you don't see anything. You don't see any results whatsoever. And then just before you're about to give up, everything comes through. And you've got people like Jesse James West, who's a fitness influencer, and he talks about how he was doing all his he was making videos, creating content for a while before his career eventually took off, and he was close to giving up. And his friend sent him a picture of a miner, and he was digging like all the way trying to get to diamonds, and then he gives up. And in the image, he's just so close to getting to these diamonds. And then but then he gives up and he starts walking the other way. And then there's another miner who's just a little bit further away, but he's going hell for metal all the way, and he's going to get those diamonds. And it's just something to show that you've got to keep going, and you could go a long way and not see the results, but the results could just be, they could be right there. They could be right through that inch of mud that you've got to get through to get the diamond. It could be right next to you, just out of your reach, but it's going to come, and you've just got to keep going for it. So staying consistent it's so important, and it's difficult because being able to be consistent without seeing results requires discipline, and it requires the mental strength to be able to do it. And lots of people, they may not have this mental strength, or at least they may not think they have it. And you've got to realize that you do have it. It's just you haven't trained it. You haven't used that muscle yet, or you haven't used it very often. You haven't used it enough, and you've got to realize that just day by day, you've got to stack the wins. You've got to keep going with whatever it is you're doing, and just keep stacking the wins. So stack the win from getting up at the right time, to doing the right thing in the morning, to having a really good day, doing everything you're meant to do. And then you've done that for the whole week, and you've done everything you're meant to do in that whole week. And then you do it for 2 weeks, then you've done 3, then you've done a whole month, and then you've done a whole month has passed, and you've done everything you were meant to do, everything you said you were going to do. And then you do a whole 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, half a year. Then you do 12 months, a whole year. You've done a whole year of progress, and you've just been hammering at this imaginary blueprint almost. You've got hammering at this sculpture, and you're slowly conquering your goals and slowly just chipping away at the boulder. And you've got to understand that you've got to keep going at it and keep going. Just don't stop. But it's just about small improvements and staying consistent with what it is you actually want. So stack the wins day on day, week on week, month on month, year on year, and then before you know it, you've been doing everything you said you were going to do for a lifetime. And then you look back and you realize it's a habit now. It's something that doesn't require any thought. It's just, I do what I say I'm going to do, and I do it to a good standard. I do new things, I work hard, all of these things. It just comes in and it's easy to you now because you've been doing it for so long. I remember when I first started going to the gym, and it was really quite difficult for me because I had to go in the mornings before school, because I was quite young at the time, and I had to go with a teacher who my mum worked with, and he said he'd take me and he'd train me. So I had to go early in the mornings at 6 a.m. before school, and at 15, 16 years old, it was quite tough because I didn't really have a reason to do it. I was playing a lot of rugby. I didn't have the motivation, so to say. And it took a lot of effort, and sometimes I'd slack off and I'd still say to people, oh yeah, I went to the gym, but I didn't. I lied because I didn't want people to think that I was a slacker. So then I started to push myself more. I started to realize that there's so much more benefit to actually going to the gym, and I started going more consistently. I started going by myself, and I didn't need someone else there to make me go. I just started going and going more often and training for longer, learning more about training. I started doing my own research. I got more into it. I got more involved, more interested. And then the results started to come in quicker as well, because I was training better. I was prioritizing my nutrition, my recovery. Everything was looking up. And then I started putting on weight. I was doing well. I was putting on the muscle I wanted. And then the progress starts to come when you start to take interest in the subject. But not just, oh yeah, I'm interested, but like a fully fledged passion, you swear into yourself that this is your focus in that aspect of your life. So fitness, you're like, okay, I want to do weights, or I want to do boxing. That's got to be your focus in that area. Money, okay, I want to learn sales. That's my focus in this area. Sales of what? Sales of cars, sales of houses. The list goes on. This is my focus. And then you've got to go, okay, nutrition, there we go, focused. Sleeping, focused. And everything you do, you've got to go at it 100%, and you've got to make it your priority to do as well as you can on it day in and day out. And it's gonna be tough, because some days you're gonna be disciplined and you're gonna find it easy because you'll be motivated, and you'll just be able to think, okay, yeah, I've got the energy today, I'm going to go crack on with it. And then halfway through your day, you're like, okay, I've done everything. I've done my whole list of jobs. Now I can spend the next few hours doing what I want, maybe reading, relaxing, going and seeing some friends. But then you could have the other days where you don't wake up at the right time. Let's say you lie in for half an hour, you sit on your phone, you're scrolling through social media, and you don't have that fire inside you on that day. And you've got to realise that it's the discipline that keeps you going on those days, and it's the discipline that brings the consistency, because without that, you're not going to be consistent. Without the discipline, you can't be consistent, because you're not going to be motivated every day. You've got to be disciplined enough to be able to train every day, to be able to do what you want, what you have to do every day, even if you don't want to do it. So just take away from this video that your priority is to be able to do it day in, day out, whether you want to or not. Be consistent with it, be disciplined with what your focus is in every aspect. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.